Okay, so today's Daf Yomi is Sanhedrin Sadi Hey, Sanhedrin 95. Today's Daf Yomi, we're going to start on 95A around 6 lines from the top, where the Gemara cites the pasuk from Isaiah, which is the context is that on the day that Sanherib began his campaign against Yerushalayim, then at this day, this was the last day that the Jewish people were held responsible for the the sin of Nov. Rashi says, "Dumnei Avon was the sin of Nov Shahayel Am Yisrael." That was for the Jewish people because Saul killed the Kohanim of Nov. So Hakadosh Baruch Hu established a punishment until that day, and that day alone was the last day of the time of the punishment. And if Sanherib had waged war against Jerusalem on that day, he would have conquered it. And that's why the pasuk says, Od Hayom. That day, Sanherib established himself on Jerusalem for the sin of Nov. Meaning to say, if Sanherib had attacked Jerusalem that day, it would have fallen, but he didn't. And so, and so that's the idea here. So Od Hayom Benov Yamod Lamod. So means to say that was the last day that they would be responsible for the sin of Nov. Amar Rav Huna, Oto Hayom Nishtar Me'avona Shel Nov. That was the last day for the punishment of Nov. So it was Sancherib's last opportunity to attack. Amarle Kaldai. So when Sancherib was the astrologer said to Sancherib, if you attack today, you'll be able to be victorious, otherwise you won't. So Sancherib decided to try to reach Yerushalayim that day. A day which typically he could get to in travel, he could do in 10 days, he did in one day. Kimatu Yerushalayim, when they came to Yerushalayim, Shadile Bistarki. So Sancherib put layers of rugs, one on top of the other, Adi Salak Vyasa Me Ilavi Shuri, until he created a huge mountain. He was able to look above the walls of the city. Ad the Chazil Kul Yerushalayim, he could see all of Yerushalayim. Kichazia, when he saw Jerusalem, Izuter B'Yene, it appeared small to him. Amar Halo He Karta Yerushalayim. Is this the city of Yerushalayim? Gala Gishas Kol Mashirasi. That I got all my forces to was all nervous about it. Gala Kavishas Kol Medinasa, and which I conquered all these countries. Oh, he's the ear of a chalasha. It's so small. We call Karchei Mamaya the Kavasha B'Tokev Yadi. It's smaller than all the other countries that I'm able to conquer. Allah v'kamu meined bereshi. He got up and shook his head. Mobil Maisi biyade al Tur Beis Mikdash B'Tzion. He waved his hand at the Temple Mount in Zion, al Azarta de Yerushalayim, and the courtyard of Jerusalem. Amri said, Nishte be yada, let's attack it. They said, his soldiers said to them, let's go attack it right now. Amru Sancherib said to them, Timaisu, you're too tired. Lamachar Aisli Kochad V'chad Minachu Gumu Harag Mineg. Tomorrow, let each of you bring me a piece of the walls, and we'll destroy it. Meaning to say, he said they didn't even need to take it right away. Each soldier could just take a small rock from the walls, and then that would be enough to let it be destroyed. Miyad v'yabu. So on that night, as they went to sleep, vayetzi malach Hashem, an angel of God went out. Vayach b'machane Ashur me'ash monim l'chamisha elef. 185,000 men were struck down. Vayeshkimu baboker, and they woke up in the morning. V'nei kulam pegar mesim, and behold, everyone was dead. So miraculously, everybody died overnight. And Amar Papa Hainu Damri Inchi Bas Dina Batal Dina. This is what people say. If you delay the action on the case, the verdict will in the end never be carried out. If they had attacked that day, they would have conquered it. But since they delayed, their opportunity was lost and the Jews were saved. The Yishbi Benov Asher Yibilidei Harafa. And Yishbi of Nov, so David HaMelech was also punished for Nov. Even though Shaul was the one who did it, David was also punished. because it says in the pasuk in Shmuel, "V'yishbi benov asher b'lidei Harafa." Yishbi of Nov, who was one of the children of Harafa, Mishkal Kino Sholish Meos Mishkal Nechoshes, the weight of whose spear was 300 shekels of brass. V'u Chagor Chadasha, and he had new armor. Vayomer Akote David, and he said he's going to kill David. But Avishai came and helped David, and he struck the Philistine, and he killed him. Mai Vayishbi benov, Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Rav Ishabal Iskinov, means that David was being attacked because of the massacre at Nov. How long are you going to have this sin? As account of you that Nov was killed, as account of you Doag the Edomite was lost a share because he told Shaul about how they helped David, and because of you, Saul and his 3 sons were killed. What do you want? You can have your choice of punishments. So do you want to have your descendants wiped out, or do you want to be yourself given to the hand of your enemy? So Amar Lefanav, so David Amel says, he said, I'd rather be given over to the enemy rather than my descendants be wiped out. So one day, David went out with Shkor Bazai. He went hunting, means to hunt. Also, the Satan came along and appeared like a deer. So he shot an arrow at it, it didn't hit him. Mashla, he kept chasing it. Adam Tail Arts pushed him until he reached the land that pushed him. Yishbi Benov. When Yishbi Benov saw him there, he recognized him. Amar Haino Hai the Katla Galia Tachi. You're the one who killed my brother Galias. Kafte Kamte. They took David and they tied him up. Usve Visaje Tute Be Badia. So he put him under an olive press. Istavidly needs a miracle happened. Machole Aramitute. The ground softened up. You widen my stride beneath me, my ankles are not given away. That day was Friday. Avishai was shampooing his head with 4 kavin of water. He noticed blood stains in the water. So Ika the Amri also Yona Itrif Kame. Some say that a dove came and began acting crazy in front of him. Amar Knesset Israel Yona Himsla. He says, "Oh, the Jewish people are compared to a dove." Shenamar Kanfei Yona Nachba Bekasef. Shmamin Adav Malkut Yisrael B'Torah. So he says, King David must be in pain. Also, Abite Oashli. When he was house, he didn't find them. Amar Tanan Ein Rochvan Al Susa Vein Yoshvan Al Kisa Vein Mishtamshim B'Shavito B'Shas Sakanamai. So he says, you're not allowed to ride on the king's horse. You're not allowed to sit on his throne. You're not allowed to use his scepter. But what about his time of danger? Also, Shabe Midrasa, B'Shas Sakana Shaper Dami. Can I ride on the horse? And they said yes. Rachel with fear day become also. He rode his mule to catch him. Kaptzli Ari had very quick road. Bali Kamaski, as he was riding, he saw Arpa, the mother of Yishbi Benov, she was spinning thread. When she saw him, she broke the thread off her spindle. She threw it at him. She thought to kill him. Amar she said to him, Oim, fetch me that spindle. He threw the spindle on top of her head and killed her. When he saw Yishbi Benov, when Yishbi Benov saw him coming, Amar Hashan have a train. There'll be 2 against me, and they're going to kill me. He threw David in the air, and he put his spear in the ground. Amar Nefal he said, David will fall and be killed. Amar Avishai shame. So Avishai used the name of God. He suspended David in the air, and he didn't kill him. The name So why didn't David say it? A captive cannot release himself from prison. What are you doing here? God told me to do this, and so this is what happened. Reverse your prayer. Let your grandson sell wax as long as you do not suffer. Amai hachi sayab adam. So help me escape. So Avishai helped him. Amar Rav Yehuda Marav Sha'azro B'Tfilah. He prayed for him. Amar Avishai Shem Ve'achte. So Avishai pronounced Hashem's name a second time, and he fell to the ground. Havakaradif Basrayu. They ran away, but he was running after them. Kimata Kube. When they reached Kube, Amri Kumbe. He said, "Let's take a stand." Kimata Beitrei Amri. When they reached Beitrei, they say, "Betray Guria and Katlu Arye." Can two cubs kill a full-grown lion? So they couldn't do it. Go find Orpah, your mother. We killed her. When they mentioned his mother's name, his strength failed him, and they killed him. And that's why David's men said to him, "Don't go out into battle again because we don't want you to get captured." It's the three people who had pizza Sadera. They had a very quick journey. Eliezer, Eved Avram, Yaakov Avinu, and Avishai ben Tzruya. Avishai ben Tzruya was Hadamran. That we just said. Eliezer, because it says about Eliezer, Eved Avram Nochsev Avo Ayom El Ayin. Remember the Hu Yom Anafak. He said, "I came today to the spring," meaning that was the day he left. Yaakov Avinu, Yaakov Nochsev Ayeti. Yaakov mi Beersheva. Yaakov left Beersheva. Yaakov left Beersheva, Vayel Harana, Vayitka b'makom Vayon Sham, Kiva Shemesh. Kimato Haran, when he reached Haran, Amar, possible I passed the place where my fathers prayed, I didn't pray. Ba'al he wanted to go back to pray in the Temple Mount, or Beit El. So there's a question. Rashi on the Torah says the place was actually Yerushalayim. But Rashi Chulin says it was Har Moriah. So it's all a question where it was. But so he thought to go back. Wanted to go back. Keeping the hair, but there. Once he thought to go back, Kaftzli Ara, then the land contracted. Miyad Vayivka b'makom. He came to the place. Davar Acher Ein Pegiyah Tefillah. Tefillah means prayer. It says V'asa al tisparol ba'adam azev al tisab adam rino tefillah v'al tifka bi. So we see that the word Pegiyah, encounter, means prayer. Ayon Shem Kiva Hashemesh. He slept there because the sun had set. Basar Ditzalei. After he prayed, after he prayed, he wanted to go back. Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu, Tzadik Zeh Ba'a Bois Moni Vater B'Lolina. He said, "Can this tzaddik came to my place and he's gonna leave without sleeping?" Miyad Ba Hashemesh. Immediately the sun said, "V'ayinu D'Sliv Yisrael Lo Hashemesh. Achilo Bavad Zarcha." And it was it for him alone the sun rose? The sun that prematurely set in his count to Beitel now rose prematurely in Peniel. We know in the Kol Hazar to David. How do we know that David's descendants are obliterated? Because it says, Asalia im Achaziah Rasa Kimes Bina. Asalia, the mother of Achaziah, saw that her son was dead. And she rose and destroyed the whole family. But wasn't there Yoash? So Hasim Nami Ishtayar of Yasser, also Evyasar. So Amar Yehuda Rav, Amon Ishtar Evyasar Achimelch Ben Achituv, Onishtar Mizar Shal David Tzripui. Was it not for Evyasar, then there would have been nobody left. Amar Yehuda Marav, Boem Sacher Varasha, Barba Machamisha Alf Ish B'nei Moachim Yoshim Kronos. So Sanhedrin attacked the Jews with an army of 45,000 princes in golden chariots, Vimayan Shugonos Venezonos, accompanied by harlots and princesses, B'shmonim Elef Giburim Levushe Shir Yom Klipa, and 80,000 warriors clad in coats of mail. Shishim Elef Achuz Echar Ratzam Wafanam with 60,000 swordsmen running before him. Rashar Parashim, and the rest were cavalry. V'chein Bo Al Avram. That's how they attacked Avram, and that's how we're going to fight in the Gog Magog. The Masnisa Tana in the Bryce is taught Orach Machaneo Arba Melos Parsi. The length of his camp was 400 parsos. Rocham Tzavar Susav Arba Parsi. sources were so numerous that they extended for 400 parasos. Total number was 260,000 minus one. By Abba Chatzar Chad Ribo mean minus one Ribo, which is 10,000. Or Chatzar Chad Alpha minus 1,000. Or Chatzar Mei or minus 100. Or Chatzar Chad. Take it. We believe in our result. Tana Rishonim Avru B'Shech. So the first unit of Tzancherev crossed over swimming. Shenemar V'Chalaf Biuda Shatav Avar. Mitzayim Avar B'Koma. The second marched across. It says Ad Tavar Yagia. Achronim Elu Upper Baraglayim. The last raised dust with their feet. Umatsumayim and Arwashtot. They had no river left. They had to bring other water. It says Ani Karati Shatiti Mai. Baksiv, is it really the case that he had over 2 billion troops? He only killed 185,000. They're all dead. Russia guys who seen. Those were the commanders who died. Indeed, we can infer this. Lean this into his fat ones. Bashmenim the ispe. He was only dealing with the fat ones. Amar Ravina Dekanami Delsev. Hashem sent an angel, destroyed every warrior in the army. And he came to his idol's temple, where his own offspring felled him by the sword. Shema Mina, there was more than 185 souls. How did the angel kill them? He struck him with the sand. It says, the same hand that struck Paro was the one that was in future going to hit Sanhedrin. Come with a finger, as they say, Paro Etzbel came he. The same finger he had. Well, so is your sickle sharpened? I'm ready from the 6 days of creation. It was the time of the ripening of the fruits. God said to Gabriel, when you go out to ripen fruits, that's when you fight them. It says, that's what people say. As you happen to pass by, make your voice heard to your enemy. Some say Gabriel breathed into their nostrils and they died. It says, so we clapped his hands and they died. As it says, I'll pound my hand upon my hand and I shall put my fury to rest. He opened up his ears. And they heard song from the Chayos and they died. It says, how many remained? 10 soldiers survived. It says, Ushar 8, Yaru, Mispayu, and Nar Yachtavim, Kama Nar Yachochtov. What numeral can a child write down? Asar 10. Shmuel Amar Tisha, it was 9. It says, Vinisharbo Eluvos. Kinokev Zay Shnaim, Shlosha Garim Baruch Shamir, Arba V'Chamishim B'Sifa. Bishum Levi says, Arba, Star 14 soldiers made it. It says, Shnaim Shlosha Arba V'Chamisha. Rabbi Yochanan says, Chamisha Sancherav V'Shnei Banav, Nebuchadnezzar Nebuzaradan. He said, 5 Assyrians survived. Sancherav has 2 sons, and Nebuchadnezzar and Nebuzaradan. Nebuzaradan Gemara, that's a tradition. And Nebuzaradan Nebuchadnezzar is the Chsiv, where the Reve di Reva Dama Labar Elohim. The form of the fourth is like an angel. You never seen an angel, how would he know? So Nebuchadnezzar must have seen it during the time of Sancherav. Sancherav V'Shnei Banav. Sancherav and his 2 sons survived. It says, Vahiu Mishtachavav Beis Nisrocha Okav. Beis Nisrocha Ohav. Vadra Melch V'Sharatzer Banav Hiku B'Charav. Amar Rabbi Avoel, Mo'em Mikra Kosav Yevshar Va'omra'o. If the verse didn't say, it would be impossible to say. Because Bayomahu Yigalach Adoni B'Tara Stira B'Evrei Nar. On that day, Hashem will shave with a hired razor those who dwell on the other side of the river, B'Melech HaShor, king of Assyria. Tarosh V'Sara Aglayim V'Gamas is Akein Tispeh. So we're going to see what that means, but that'll be in tomorrow's stuff. That'll be in Sunday's stuff. All righty, a big shkoyach to everybody. I know we did very quickly, but it's a lot of words here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shkoyach, thank you, thank you.